Are you sitting comfortably? Yes. Then let's begin.
I've also killed men.
Hi! Welcome to our new YouTube channel. I'm covered in hair. Welcome to our new YouTube channel. We're covered in hair.
We're going to talk about Obsession and the Backrooms. Just Backrooms.
In this video, we're going to...
Can I have a tiny rebel colour?
Yar.
I was just whispering Bill into it. That is not what I said.
You said tiny.
No, the brand name is Tiny Rebel.
Oh.
That's okay. I'll
It's the tiniest
I'll drink a beaver town. Will this pick up farts that slip out when you're laughing?
We can only hope. What did you think of both movies?
3, 2, 1.
Obsession!
I spat into your microphone.
It's alright, it can be yours.
In the cinema, I was like, oh, that was pretty good. I don't understand why Rin was so pissed off at it. And then we went to Nando's, and in Nando's, I got really, really angry. I didn't hate all of it. I just think it did a bad job.
She was wearing the same outfit that she was wearing on her Instagram when he's Instagram stalking her during their montage of falling in love, which I thought was quite fun, that she is a direct reflection of his desires.
He tried to get her a crystal necklace because she dropped a crystal necklace down the sink.
And she said it.
She said, "Shit! I dropped my crystal necklace down the sink!" And it shows that...
and then the cashier just says, "Why would she say that?" Which I think was really, really funny.
I thought he was going to go and get the necklace out the sink for her, like a butch would, but he's a capitalist hog, so he tries to buy one. And when she said crystal necklace, I thought she meant like a fancy necklace, but it turns out she meant a necklace that had a crystal on it, like a sort of new age spiritual thing.
She may well have done.
No, because she gave him that like tiger stone later.
But that could have just been the demon not knowing anything about her.
That could have been. Maybe she did mean a special crystal necklace. We'll never know. We'll never know. And he gives up on that. He goes, "I'm gonna buy her I wish Nikki Freaky would love me more than anybody else in the world."
And then she appears in shadow. Oh my god, I'm sorry, that's so weird.
That's so weird. I'm being so weird.
Oh
I'm being weird because my cat died. But her cat didn't die. His cat died. He poisoned the cat, technically. It got into his sleeping pills somehow.
His grandma's sleeping pills.
Oh, his grandma's sleeping pills. Well, he inherited her flats, and it came with her sleeping pills.
Barbara.
And all her hat boxes. She had a lot of hat boxes.
Classy lady.
She was a classy
lady.
lady.
Gotta keep her hats clean.
Were the hats in the boxes?
Oh, yeah.
We should have had a hat montage where she tries to win his affections by dressing up as his dead grandma. Obsession, but he secretly fancies his dead grandma so much that she becomes his dead grandma.
What if the cat was his grandma's cat?
What if the cat was his grandma? And you might think this is bizarre and left field, but she does an incest poem.
Hands up if you've seen Pin. Pin is about a dummy and a boy
and his sister and their dead parents, one of whom is a doctor, the other one has OCD, but like the scary kind that makes you like scrub your kids until they're red. It makes you abuse your children. Yeah, like that kind like of. The OCD that the bald one that James McAvoy becomes has. Exactly this. She's got that. And it gives them all sorts of sexual issues. The doctor gives them a talk about sexuality because he's the doctor. He knows about that, right? He can tell them about it and like not make it weird for them. So he chooses to do this by using Pin, who is the dummy that it has no skin. But it has an erection. It has a constant erection. He keeps like a cloth, like a napkin across its constant erection. And he keeps this in his like GP surgery, and so when kids come in he's like, "Look, you've got a sore throat, this is where a throat is, this is where a throat is," and he pokes Pin, but he also makes Pin speak. And the kids love this. And it is Mike from Breaking Bad, by the way. Breaking Bad, and he's doing a creepy whispery voice, like the doctor will be like, "This is where your throat is," and Pin will be like, "Oh, doctor, stop touching my throat, that tickles." Everyone watch Pin right now. Everyone fucking watch Pin. Watch Pin. It's a way better film than Obsession. So the doctor explains sex to these children using Pin, and obviously this fucks them up. And there's like a great scene where the doctor's like, "Leon, we're gonna talk about penises now. Take the cloth off Pin," and Leon's like, "No fucking way, dude. I don't want to touch it." And the little sister goes, "I'll do it." And she like takes it off and she goes, Spoilers. Okay, so their parents die.
in a car crash.
Pin is there.
Pin is in the back of the car because they caught Leon talking to Pin after hours by himself.
And it was too weird.
It was too weird. Leon's older, he should know better.
He should be able to count backwards from 100 by sevens.
And Leon becomes Ursula's legal guardian after Leon sort of murders their aunt a little bit by scaring her so much with Pin.
And when we remake it, the aunt will be played by Taylor Swift.
We think she'd be good at it.
We think she'd be good in Pin.
Taylor, if you're watching,
we can give you a song like the McCavity song. Pin can become a musical, but just for you. Taylor, I know you got a wild side.
Taylor, we can bring it out in you.
The reason we bring all of this up is Leon becomes Ursula's legal guardian. He's funny in the head, and she gets a boyfriend, and the boyfriend's surprisingly chill about the whole Pin thing. He's like, really
smart
nice
and handsome.
She
he doesn't care about Pin.
Yeah, she brings him back, and he just like talks to Pin. He's casual with it, and then Leon's like, I want to read you some of my poetry, and in front of his sister and her boyfriend, who he's just met and who he really likes and thinks is cool, he stands up and he like reads this poem that he's been working on. And it's about a guy that is obsessed with having children. He wants to have the most children anyone's ever had. He's like fathered thousands of children at this point. And this is the first time in the book that he's contemplated rape. He's mid-rape and he's like, that's my sister. Were you referencing Pin Curry Barker when she read her incest poem? We see that when Belle leaves Nikki alone in the house, all she does is stand inside the house and just stare at the door until he gets back. She pisses. She doesn't leave. She stands at the door. I think she wrote that Hansel and Gretel incest poem before she went crazy.
I thought it was really, really cool how Demon Nicky used a one-wish willow to make Bear fall in love with her. And he has this little snap moment where he's like, oh, I don't want to kill myself anymore. Like, he gets, woo! And I couldn't work out if that was drugs or the one-wish willow the first time I was watching it. But the second time, because I knew, I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. He comes through, the willow bark is broken, and they share a kiss, and it's hilarious and wonderful, and I was really hoping there'd be like a 10-minute sequence again of them like being in love, and that's how the film would end. That would be hilarious. They're just like cursed to an eternity of loving each other more than anyone else in the world.
I liked that he died on her knee and then she threw him on the floor. I don't understand most of her behaviour as a genie, demon, be careful what you wish for kind of creature. I only understand her behaviour as a caricature of somebody with borderline personality disorder. I didn't have any sense of Nikki outside of Bear's crush on her. And again, I get that that is the point, but I don't think it works when she's so isolated. Like, the specific phrasing of I wish Nikki, can't remember her name, loved me more than anybody else in the world, made me think that we were going to see her literally love her more than anyone else in the world. Like, she was going to cut out all other relationships in her life. Like, she was going to cut her family off. She was going to stop speaking to anyone at work. But it was already like she didn't really speak to anyone at work because no one really liked her. And we never saw any sense of family except that she was estranged from her dad, which felt like a very lazy way of not wanting to explain why no one in her life went, hey, why have you been at this guy's house for weeks and we haven't seen you? Like, did she live with people? Did anyone realise she hadn't come home? It doesn't matter. She doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. I don't think you can make a film about how horrible it would be to do this to a woman and steal her autonomy in her life when she actually doesn't have any autonomy or life anyway. There was a lot of horror to be got out of she's obsessed with him, she can't leave even though she wants to, she's trying to destroy his life so that he has nothing but her. That's already horrifying. We don't need her walking backwards and it's sped up. I love the bit where she was in the corner and she was like, hey, wishing you sleep. It was like the season of Love Island where Curtis refused to have sex with Maura because he wanted to watch everybody sleep.
I have been getting annoyed at everyone thinking that she's the best actress in the world. It's like all I see online, and I want to suggest to everyone that you just fancy her. The film is a parable, right? Be careful what you wish for. Be careful what you wish for because giving a woman attention brings out a demon in them. Or some shit, like, you know, be careful what you wish for because your girlfriend could be a demon. Your girlfriend could have daddy issues. Your girlfriend could be a crazy bitch in some way. If your audience thinks your film is about abuse, you should have been a little bit more responsible in making the film.
I just think it's lazy horror making where you can't make the premise that you've invented work to be scary enough in your opinion, so you just do some other bullshit. It's like the whole Crooked Man sequence in The Conjuring 2 has pissed me off since I saw that film when I was 14, because that's nothing to do with all the other shit.
Be careful what you wish for, unless you're this guy. Then you'll get $1 billion
shot in the
and
face.
unrelated someone else will shoot you in the face.
Maybe that's better. I do think maybe being buried in dollars is...
I
think as a throwaway line, do you know how much $1 billion is? It's really, really funny, especially when he gets shot immediately afterwards.
Be careful what you wish for, your girlfriend might walk backwards.
She's gonna go in the dark and she's gonna frown more than is normal.
Make the fucking film that you're making. Don't make another film and tell me this is part of the film too, because that's a dead cat sandwich. That's some other bullshit that was nothing to do with the genie bargain we entered.
That's a dead cat sandwich.
That's a dead cat fucking sandwich.
My rotten cat meat sandwich. I'm wondering if this is human Nikki socking it to him. In which case, thumbs up. That's really, really funny.
We were scared by the end of All Hallows Eve.
And I was scared of the end of Sledgehammer as well.
I was kind of scared watching Caveat in the cinema.
Yes, we saw Oddity in the cinema.
Yes, I meant Oddity. I was kind of scared watching Oddity in the cinema.
I watched Caveat on my television in my own home, and I was a little bit frightened of that dead lady.
Spooky film.
Oh, God, go away.
But I don't think a horror film has to scare me to be a horror film that I like. I don't like when people treat horror films as either it scared me or it failed. But I didn't like other things. I didn't like Obsession as a whole.
It felt like the intention was to scare as well,
you
know?
And it didn't. There's a scene where Sarah, who we know fancies Bear, who works at the music shop, is like talking to him about the future, and she's like got her last letter from the last college that she's applied for that's going to tell her whether or not she's got in.
To art school
To be a tattoo artist. We know more about her than we know about Nikki. It's a nice moment. They're about to find out she got into art school, and then out of nowhere Nikki smashes through the window with a brick and just starts slamming her face into the brick. She keeps going for a long time, and there's just like one eye and lots of teeth left, and it looked cool. I liked it. It was a good death. You knew it was coming the whole time. So I think
it was like a laugh. It was
I think it being so sudden really worked, because it was both funny and you knew it was coming anyway, so it wasn't like they could shock you with it, so they had to just be like boom. And I think it worked. It worked. I liked it. It was a good death.
To me it looked really, really, really similar to the end of the first Terrifier, that makeup design.
Yeah, I do kind of wish Nikki had killed more people.
Yeah, I agree.
I thought she was going to kill more people.
Yes, it felt like it kind of ended before it started.
Yeah, like she killed one person. I think of films that people tell me are really revolutionary because they're about feminism, but actually they're about how a man feels about something he did to a woman. I find that really boring. So I found myself getting increasingly annoyed at it. The bird medicine. Feed the birds, tuppence a bag. It just felt like a very contained film. And I don't think it should have. I think it felt too contained to be impactful, with not actually seeing any wider consequences for the... Whoa! Curry Barker. Why is your name Curry Barker? Why is that your name?
That's ad hominem.
I also think that you shouldn't be called Barker if you're going into horror, unless you're like guns blazing, unless you're fucking coming out that door like belting.
My name is Jesus Christ and I'm a terrible person.
It's like your surname's Spielberg and you made like Red Notice. Like,
what is Red Notice?
Exactly, Ren. Exactly.
What is Red Notice?
It was one of the most watched films on Netflix like 2 years ago, but like no one could tell you anything about it because it was entirely designed to be a second screen. I don't know. I think it had Ryan Reynolds in it, but it might have had the other one. You know, the other one. It had some celebrities in it. I haven't seen it.
Ryan Gosling?
Maybe.
The one who was in... I watched it... I didn't watch. I saw a really funny film poster that had Ryan Gosling on it, and it said something like... Mad Angry Boy, and he was posed like this. It was just phenomenal. So I saw Drive. Actually, that's a lie. I watched the first like half hour of Drive. What are you guys talking about? That was boring and ugly.
You know who's cool? Baby Driver.
I watched Baby Driver with someone whose favourite film is Baby Driver. Every time he moved the car, she was like, yeah! Like, she loved the driving in Baby Driver. She loved the music in Baby Driver. She was singing along. She said that she had the CD for the Baby Driver soundtrack in her car, and it didn't come out of the DVD, the CD player, and she just listened to it every time she drive. And her dream car is a red Subaru. It is cool when he like stops and then the car skids around the corner and then he's in a different position. That's cool. I like that. We should watch
Tokyo Drift.
We should watch We should watch all the Fast and Furious films on a live stream.
Yeah, on a live stream.
On a live
stream. We're going to be so famous from this video because
everyone's
going to tell us to
no
kill
one
ourselves. Yeah, that's true. Did you see that guy that killed his girlfriend? And he was like doing a fake live stream to get away with it, and he's gone to prison now.
No.
And he kept talking about like killing this bitch when he was like beating up prostitutes in GTA. Sorry, sex workers. Let's not put this in the video. I'm not gonna finish the murder story.
Okay.
Let's talk about something else.
Okay. What did you think about the movie Backrooms?
I thought Backrooms was much, much better than it could have gotten away with being.
Yes. My main reading of the Backrooms was about consciousness and subconsciousness. You know, all of the distorted memories. Every time you remember something, it distorts the memory. And, you know, your experience is entirely based on how you're perceiving things and nothing to do with how the thing actually is.
I actually didn't like all the all the therapy bullshit.
I could have done without therapy, but I think that it made it clear to the audience that's what it was exploring.
Yeah, it just felt like it was holding my hand a little bit, and it did also feel like it's fine if a film could hold my hand. I love to skip hand in hand with a film, but it felt like it didn't actually really know what it was talking about during the therapy sessions. Those were the most, this guy's 20.
I did go to the bathroom during one of the therapy sessions because I knew exactly what they would say, and also they kind of reiterated it symbolically afterwards. I honestly thought they were going to go in more of a alcoholism direction, but they didn't. He just was an alcoholic, and you know, I kind of fucked with that.
Sometimes you're an alcoholic and you go into the back rooms.
I was wondering if, you know, the back rooms were going to develop into, you know, a metaphor for his escapism with alcohol from his marriage and his life, and he'd rather be unconscious, or he'd rather be, you know, living in his own mind.
The tweet where she's like, oh, I really like the game Disco Elysium, but I kind of wish that it was like about a young witch trying to find her neighbour's missing cat. I really liked the bit where he tried to move a chair and it looked like two chairs stacked on top of each other, but it was actually just one chair. I really liked that a lot, because the backrooms didn't understand that would be two chairs. Mm-hmm. It was doing pictures. Mm-hmm. And I think the film sort of like, you could very, very easily be like, this film was about AI, and he's like, had to, the little boy,
20-year-old Kate
he's
Parsons.
just 20, he's just a little boy. The little boy has said that it wasn't about AI because it was so like easy to read that in. Mm-hmm. And he's like, no, but I'm happy for you to read it in. Like, he's like, yeah, it's cool. Like, I get it. It could be about AI, and I don't fuck with AI, but it wasn't about AI.
What are you talking about when you say it's about capitalism? Like, genuinely.
Dude, he's literally a pirate. Like, the memory of somebody like Clark reduces everything that it has encountered to a physical thing that it can extract some kind of benefit from. Like, he could eat the memory of his wife and it would sustain him. And he didn't care that it looked like his wife.
I'm with you.
Like the guy that had become a chair who turns the light on. Mm-hmm. Like, he'd become a thing that turns a light on. Mm-hmm. He'd become the object. Mm-hmm.
He'd become the function, like the...
Yeah, he'd become a function and an object rather than a guy. Have you seen the stone tape? It's like the surroundings of a traumatic event have retained the traumatic event and they like project it out. So the stone is recording and the stone is projecting out. The Stone Tape is a 1970s film written by Nigel Neal. Stone Tape is a film about a computer company, unclear what they do. They discover the ghost of a woman that is basically a projection of a horrible event. And instead of being like, oh my god, that's crazy, these people that work for a computer company are immediately like, we can use this to broadcast EastEnders. And that's what the corporation at the end were giving to me. They were like, we used to make MRI machines and now we study the back rooms. There's got to be some benefit to the back rooms. We could record EastEnders for free in the back rooms. You shouldn't eat those guys probably, but in theory they could solve world hunger with the back rooms, or they could do something useful. And they just don't, they just want to keep it a secret so they can use it for their MRI machines. Also, I like that they used to make MRI machines because I don't fucking like MRI machines. I have issues with MRI machines. They could all kill me. I thought the cast were really good. Sometimes I felt like they did not know what they were saying.
No.
Like some of the scenes it was like especially the therapy scene in the back rooms, I feel like they were both like,
what am I talking about?
I really didn't like the whole, oh, her mum was crazy and then they knocked her house down thing.
So she became a therapist.
Like, I thought it was stupid. I thought it was weird that they like strongly implied with her backstory that she grew up in America, because she
that was weird.
But like, that's fine.
Maybe she was adopted by a Danish family. She wouldn't let her look outside. There was paper on the window.
There was paper on the windows because they were going to get them. And I feel like if that had been her backstory, she should maybe have had more of a crisis when she actually discovered something crazy. I feel like there should have been like, was my mum right kind of moment, and I feel like she never thought about it that much.
Yeah, it was a throwaway. I like the big guy. The big guy, loved him.
I didn't really like the big guy.
I love the big guy.
This is weird. It's unusual that we disagree on things about a film.
Are you sure? I appreciate your perspective on it because I didn't think about it in that way. And
I appreciate your perspective because I didn't think about it in that way. Yay!
I didn't really like the big pirate guy. I thought he looked dumb.
He did look dumb, but I was a little bit bored.
You like, oh, big chase. I thought the chase was cool. I just didn't really like the pirate design.
I thought his face was stupid, but I loved when he ate him.
It was like sudden and very visceral.
It was
Like the
sudden,
Backrooms horror was very
sudden and very
abstract
visceral.
until then, and it was like, who's
Yes.
you? I really, really like the designs of all the other freaky guys in the Backrooms.
Yes.
I think that's why I was a bit like, about the pirate Clark.
Yes.
Because they looked so cool and so weird. I love the guy that just turned the light on. I put the lights on. The red wig and like the sort of blunt red suit, like that was so...
It's crazy.
It was so Laura Dern. Sometimes you can really tell that a director transcendently meditates, and I'm talking about Zach Cregger.
Who was that, Cregger?
Weapons, Barbarian. Sometimes you like some of his film, you're like, that guy's been meditating. I can see it.
Yeah.
I really liked the guy that was also in Game of Thrones. I thought he was really good, even though I wasn't in it very much.
The guy who had the crop top on.
The guy that had the crop top that says "End Apartheid." I really liked that. I actually thought it was clever because the first time I saw it, I was like, okay, it's the 80s. But then when it came back and he found the shirt in the back rooms that said "End Apartheid," and obviously he wasn't wearing that shirt that day, and he'd never worn it into the back rooms. He just worn it upstairs. And because it had the word apartheid on it,
you really remember.
Obviously you paid attention to it because you just don't expect to hear about apartheid in the Backrooms. Sorry, Backrooms the movie. I think Mark Duplass is really, really good casting because it's almost like casting, bear with me, it's like casting James Stewart in Vertigo. James Stewart in Vertigo was like, what? Because he was a nice guy and then he was crazy in Vertigo. Sort of the opposite with Mark Duplass because it's like, he was kind of playing, he was trying to be nice. As far as I know, he was nice. But I do not fucking trust him. I do not trust him for 1 second because he's Mark Duplass, man. He's Peach Fuzz. I didn't trust him at all. Also, I want to talk about with the movie. The Never-Ending Story.
I mean, we can just leave it in and it can just have show audio.
So Mark Duplass is watching The Never-Ending Story with his child. He's making popcorn. He makes the popcorn. He sits down. An ad break starts and it's Pirate Clark, being his pirate self. So he goes, I've seen that guy in the fucking Backrooms. But it's like the last 4 minutes of The Never-Ending Story. It's the bit where Bastian names the child like Empress to recreate Fantasia and he goes, Star Child! He sees Fantasia basically as it was, even though it's a world of fantasy, he sees it as it was. He remembers everything because he liked it. And then he rides on Falco's back and goes into New York or wherever he lives and flies around. And that's a really weird part of the film to A, be making popcorn because it's the end, and B, for an ad break because it's like 3 minutes before the film ends. So it was obviously chosen on purpose, that particular bit. Because there's a lot more cool bits you could show of The Never-Ending Story. Like, there's a lot of cool puppetry. You don't see any of the cool puppets. Why that bit?
When I saw that, I just kind of thought, oh, the themes are similar, and then moved on with my life.
That could be it. That could just be it.
But you are right, it's a very specific...
I just think it's a weird bit to have chosen.
Yeah. They're saying that you could rebuild your subconscious however you want in your fantasy world and nobody died, and by nobody died I mean you grow the fuck up and take accountability for your actions and maybe go home, fuck your wife and tell her that she's a good lawyer or something. I don't know.
I guess like for Clark, the pirate is kind of like Falco for a bit and then it eats him. Cool guy to have seen The Never-Ending Story at the mere age of 20.
I saw The Never-Ending Story at 20. I never watched it as a child.
What?
First time I watched it was in a cinema with you.
I was on those new heart meds. I don't think you should be taking heart meds recreationally.
No.
They shouldn't make you feel like you want to take them recreationally.
Pew, 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 pew.
I like the bit where he went down the hole and then he got eaten.
Yeah, I love that bit.
I honestly wish more of the film being found footage. I know you hate found footage, but it was cool.
My main issue with found footage is that it's a bit of a cop-out, and he clearly can make a film otherwise. You know what, if he wants to give a little nod to how the original The Backrooms looked, that's not my problem.
I don't want the whole film to be found footage.
No, oh my god, that would have been terrible. I was so nervous. Good. I was like, I thought in the advert it was a real movie.
I think it's very rare that something lends itself to found footage well, other than...
That we can agree on.
Yeah, I know. But I think it works when it's like yeah, shit, like it might just be carnage. Like Wreck works because it's like, yeah, fuck, it might just be carnage. It might just be carnage and everyone dies, and then that is what happens. Spoilers for Wreck. Or like Blair Witch. Like I don't fuck with Blair Witch particularly, but like they all just die and then it ends. You know?
Yeah.
Like that's kind of scary because it's so. No, it is because it's so.
I'm
like...
gonna stand in the corner. Oh!
But that would have been so much worse if it had been a normal film. That like standing in a corner ending.
Yeah. That's why I think it's lazy.
I get why it scared people because it did feel like both this could have happened, this could have been real to people, and also so hopeless.
Cannibal Holocaust, and they were like, these people died.
Blair Witch, you don't know what's going on. What is that? What's going on in the woods? Where will it go? The answer is pretty much nowhere. But I kind of get why that freaked people out because it's like, wow, that is truly random. Like it feels like it could be real because it's not plotted. It's just like, fuck, they died in the woods, you know?
Yeah.
The horror in Cannibal Holocaust isn't like, oh my god, what's going to happen to them? Are they going to get out of the woods? Like, no, they're going to fucking die in the woods. They're going to get eaten. Like, the horror is like man's brutality to man.
I thought the horror of Cannibal Holocaust was...
Sure, that too, man. But like, the horror of Blair Witch is the like, what is happening? What is going on? And that's sort of the horror of the Backrooms. It's just like there could be this infinite space that you could fall into for no reason, and then you're in there, and there's nothing in there that means anything, and everything goes on forever for no reason, and then you die. It's kind of scary. A lot of the time, fan footage is just, oh my god, we don't have a budget, or oh, wouldn't it be freaky if it seemed like it was real?
I did like Spree though. I will clap.
The Spree was good.
Guys, I liked Spree. Don't worry.
I
know you're all worrying at home.
I liked Ghostwatch. Gonna be slanging up Ghostwatch.
I like Ghostwatch.
I love Ghostwatch.
I like Ghostwatch. I think Ghostwatch is cool. It's a gimmick that hadn't been done before.
Ghostwatch genuinely scares me as well. Like I've never watched it and not been scared. I don't know why.
I mean, I get really scared by the opening credits to Tales of the Unexpected. I can't watch it alone in the house. I have to like skip past it because I know it's gonna make me feel like I'm gonna die, and I don't know why that is.
He's only 20, you know, the director. Yeah, when I was 20, I think I had an eating disorder. You told me my hair was really thin.
You were wearing sample size clothes and you were bald.
What were you doing when you were 20?
I was taken next. We didn't make the Backrooms.
We didn't make the Backrooms. And he's an eloquent child.
He's an eloquent child.
When they interview him, it sounds like he knew what he was doing and he had a plan. And I respect that in a young creator. He knew what he was about. I feel like lots of people who make horror films, they want them to be about something and they don't really think about it other than that. Like, yeah. And yeah, it could have been really shit. They could have just like the Slenderman film. Yeah, it could have been the Slenderman film.
No, that was kind of funny. I quite like the Slenderman.
No,
film.
I don't.
I don't know who I like enough. I'm like trying to think if there's like a stupid film.
Like a guy you grew up with.
I mean, I love Dario Argento's Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah, I don't think it's the same thing. I think it was made with love, Phantom of the Opera, and Slenderman was made with like, we could make some money off this, and that shit.
And they,
or like Five Nights at Freddy's the movie.
Five Nights at Freddy's the movie too.
I still haven't seen Five Nights at Freddy's the movie too, but I've got a poster of it up in my room.
There's another one under that cabinet. Wow. You can have two.
Yeah. But it was serviceable. It was a fine film.
It was serviceable.
Backrooms could have coasted on being like, oh, the kids are gonna go see this because they like the Backrooms meme. They like Olive Delight's Kanye.
Which I think they were kind of gunning for because they hired such an inexperienced director.
Open the gates and let the children flow in and give you their money.
That's what they said. A24. I need to pee. That's why I'm repeating what you're saying.
Okay, I'm gonna keep talking. Okay. They could have just made a middling film that wasn't so bad it upset everybody. But honestly, I think if that had been the case, only kids that liked the Backrooms would have gone to see it, and that would still have been enough of a success. It could have got away with being like a meme film, in the vein of the Minecraft film. It could have just been a film that you go and see with your friends and you laugh and you go, that's the Backrooms from my meme. But it wasn't. I feel like a lot of films nowadays, and Rin will agree with me when they get back, a lot of films nowadays feel like they've done something really big by having something to say, and I don't think it was up itself about it. Hello. Hi. I was just saying to our friend the camera here that a lot of films nowadays feel like they're special for having something to say.
Yes, which is what a film is.
A film has something to say.
If you don't have something to say, don't make a movie.
It wasn't like, oh my god, you're not going to believe this. I'm a horror film, but I'm about something. The label elevated horror.
Yes, it pisses me off.
Okay, what I meant to say here is that a certain generation of filmmakers went to film school and they read all of these papers about how monster movies are actually good because they reflect the fears of the times. And, there's sort of a critical reappraisal of all of these old films that people thought were shit at the time, but then you kind of look back on them and you realize, oh, that's about the destruction of the American dream. Oh, the abject, like whatever. But these films had like other stuff going on, I mean, I think it's kind of a given that a film is about something, but what made these films so special is because they were kind of showcasing an underbelly, a counterculture, the grimier parts of America specifically, that Americans didn't really get to see in their films, or if they did, it wasn't so explicit. I just don't really know what elevated horror is trying to do beyond, I don't know, explaining concepts that audiences sort of already understand and not doing much else.
I think that the label elevated horror is rude because it sort of implies that all other horror films are lesser.
Yes.
As if they didn't have something to say. They always did. All films have something to say. Saying that you're elevated because you're about something is bollocks. It's a rude label. It's dismissive, and I don't feel like Kane Parsons or Backrooms the movie were being like, check us out, we're about things. I bet no other films that come out this year are about anything, and they're all shit because of it. I felt like he was just excited to make a film and he had a point of view. I feel like, honestly, Curry Barker was more like, check it out, it's about something, than Kane Parsons was, and it was about way less, and it executed as being about stuff way worse. I really didn't think I was going to come into this and be like, Backrooms versus Obsession. The Backrooms wins.
Good night.
Good night.
Sleep well, and when you dream of us tonight.
What did you guys think about Obsession and Backrooms? Did you like them? Which did you think was better? Do you agree with our takes? Can you answer any of our questions? Comment the questions and then comment the answers below as if you're a different person. It'll be a little fun for all of us.
We have posted the coordinates to where we buried Curry Barker somewhere in this video. The first person to find it gets to keep him.
I don't want to insult a director's appearance because it wasn't in the movie and it wasn't about that.